So hi, we're here with Zoe Reeve, better known as Travel with Zoe. And of course, we're here to get a bit of insight about who Zoe really is. So tell us, Zoe, who is Zoe?
I don't know, I'm just me. Basically, I just really like to share my experiences. That's what I do on TikTok every day. But I'm 31, I'm from England, and I've been basically full-time traveling for like 2.5 years now, since I saved up some money during COVID and quit my jobs. I've been doing TikTok since then. Tried a few social media, blogging things before that, but nothing really ended up being anything significant. I love traveling, but specifically in the Caribbean. It's like, I'll come to the Caribbean, go somewhere else for a bit, but then I'll always want to come back to the Caribbean.
Right.
So this is my 10th time in Trinidad.
Wow.
Which is crazy, right?
Right.
And
10 times in how many years?
so the first time was 2015, so quite a lot of years.
Right.
Kind of equates to like one time per year, right?
Right.
Yeah, so that's the country I've been to the most times.
Right. What drew you exactly to Trinidad?
Soca.
Because I mean, the Caribbean is big.
Yeah, soca, to be honest. So I got into soca when I was at university in London. And so of course I wanted to come to Carnival in Trinidad. So yeah, in 2015 I came for 3 months and I stayed on a farm and did like a volunteer program. The farm is called One Family Farm. It's in Moruga, and they run a program where travellers can volunteer on the farm in exchange for a room and food.
Right.
So I basically lived in Moruga on this farm for 3 months, but I came up for Carnival and went back down. And I just fell in love with like the community spirit and just the vibes, like all fours, the cooking, the food, the like farm life. I really enjoyed like selling in the market, just like the kind of comedy that happens, you know, you're selling in the market and it's not just a simple thing of selling in the market. It's like if you're selling tomatoes and he's selling tomatoes, you'll be kind of like competing in this funny way and like, you know, laughing and joking with the customers.
Trying to convince them that your tomatoes is better.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like I just find that in Trinidad a lot of things that happen that could be boring are very funny, and like people in Trinidad can make a fun situation out of like anything. So
right. So obviously there was no such thing as a culture shock for you.
Or was there's always when you go to a new place. I'm not sure if culture shock is the right word, but there's always new things that you haven't experienced. Because I had been to Jamaica and Barbados before, but this was I think my 3rd Caribbean country if I remember right.
Right.
So the accent was a bit of a culture shock because being in Moruga, kind of like south countryside, some people had quite a stronger accent than maybe some people in town, for example. So I was really struggling with the accent in the beginning. Learning all fours was very difficult. And yeah, of course there were some new things, but I wouldn't say it was like a bad culture shock. It was just learning new things, and you know.
So you've been here, let's say 10 times within the last 9 years or so.
Yeah.
And you basically just explained to us what kept you coming, the music.
Yeah, I mean, originally it was that I would just visit the family, because when I came the first time I only really saw Moruga, and then I stayed in Sawa for Carnival, and I also went to Toco for a few days, but I didn't really see the rest of Trinidad. So it was really like I wanted to come back to visit that family and that community, but then every time I came back it was like I'd make a few more friends, go visit them, you know, I'd like expand the places that I would see in Trinidad, and then it kind of ended up that I just had like a really big social life here and I didn't want to miss out on the things my friends were talking about, and you know, I just wanted to keep coming back. And yeah, so it'll be like obviously doubles. I love soca like so much. I love the fact that Trinidad has such a deep culture with obviously Indian and African influences, meaning that there's always some kind of like cultural event happening, if it's Pagua, you know, whatever it is, Carnival. So there's always something going on with like music, with food. There's so many just events here happening all the time.
So was it a case of you can't get enough of Trinidad?
Yeah, I mean, I still want to, like, I want to go, you know, everywhere and anywhere, I guess, within reason. So it's actually like a tough battle. Well, it's a good problem to have, but it's like a tough battle in my head to be like, shall I go back to Trinidad again, or should I go to like, I don't know, Thailand, or like a new place, or you know what I mean? And it's always so hard to choose going to a new country versus coming to Trinidad again, because, you know, I want to do both.
Right. So recently, so we know that you're very passionate about traveling.
Yeah.
We know that you're very passionate about culture. Recently, we saw you're very passionate about music. Let's hear about it. What influenced you to get into music?
Nothing, it just happens spontaneously. Like really a lot of things that happen in my life, they just happen and they're not planned. Like really most things are not planned. So I like to interview people sometimes for my TikTok. I've interviewed like food vendors, people who are involved in like cultural things. I interviewed like stick fighters, and I've also interviewed like musicians. So I was interviewing Aaron Duncan, who's obviously a Trinidadian soca artist and calypso, I guess. And we did it in his studio because he has a studio at home. And well, he kind of like half jokingly said, oh, why don't you make a song, like seeing as we're in the studio? And I was like, what? Like, I can't do that, that's not my talent, you know. And then he just carried on saying, come on, come on, come on. And I'm a person that I like to just try new things, even if I might look stupid, I don't really mind at this point. So I just try to like throw myself into new experiences. So I said, okay, fine, let's do it. And then I'm a person that once I start trying something, I'll try my best and I'll like get into it because it's more fun that way. So I really got into it and got my notes app and started like writing lyrics, you know, and yeah, like we recorded it and it was just for content really. It wasn't really to be a song, it was just for content because obviously I'm a content creator, so I have to create good content. I thought it was funny content because no one would expect like me and him to even, you know, be in a studio together, and the lyrics were like kind of a bit silly and funny. So I just thought it'd be good content just to see, for them to like see me going out of my comfort zone, and you know, I just thought it was a bit of fun. And then obviously it got 2.1 million views and Aaron was like, I think we have to drop it, you know. I was like, drop it? What does that even entail? Like, what was that? Like, and then all of a sudden, before you know it, people were calling us up to try and perform at their parties, to try and get us to perform at their parties. And then everyone on the street was like, what's up, big artiste? And I was like, what's going on? And then I realised that I really enjoy writing lyrics. So when other people said, oh, like we could collab, I was like, well, yeah, why not? It's fun. It's a different way to express yourself. I don't know, it's just fun. So.
Is it a prelude to a new career for you? Do you see it? Do you see music? Do you see Trini music? Do you see music on the whole as being, you know, a sideline job?
Like, I don't really mind. Like, honestly, in life, I really just accept everything as it happens. And so it's like, oh, people are still asking for collabs. People are still saying, oh, come and perform here, come and perform here. And I'm still enjoying it. So to me, like, whilst I'm still enjoying something and it's still there, like, for me, we'll probably do it until either it's not there anymore or I don't enjoy it, you know? So who's to say if it's gonna last 1 month, 2 months, 1 year, 3 years? But to me, even if it stops tomorrow, that's absolutely fine. And I feel like if I'm blessed enough to reach the age of like 70, 80, I think it'll be so amazing that I can like go on YouTube and be like, yeah, little children in my neighborhood, this was me, like, you know, and I just think that's just a fun thing to have
something
done.
And of course you accomplished it and you have that, so you wouldn't sit with any regrets later on, of course.
Like, it's just a new experience and that's enough for me if that's all it ever is, you know?
Right. Speaking of which, recently you did a video, a music video, and of course persons had their opinions and their things to say. If my memory serves me correctly, you are also a teacher.
Not really. I think people got this a bit twisted. So I have worked in schools when I was like in my early 20s. I worked as a languages assistant in schools, but that obviously stopped a long time ago. But I do like online, I offer like conversational English practice to people who English is not their first language, online. So like, it's very casual. I wouldn't say I'm a teacher. I mean, not your traditional how you envisage it. I don't have a class, I don't have a uniform, it's like somebody will pay me like $10 US, we'll go on like WhatsApp video call, we'll have a conversation in English and I'll say, well, hold on, that's the wrong word, you need to pronounce it like this. I can be in my pajamas when I do that. It's not like, do you know what I mean? It's not like a full teacher.
Right.
Do you get?
I totally understand because that, I mean, obviously there was some sort of a misconception and I'm very happy that you cleared it up. So I checked out your Instagram. I saw you drop a teaser, was it yesterday or this morning? And of course persons are commenting on it and I love your answers. How do you deal with it though? Because I'm seeing you just brushing off those answers and polishing it up. How do you feel about it? I mean, there's good and bad in everything. And of course, being in the limelight, being on the spotlight, you're not always going to get a good compliment and a good comment. But how do you deal with it? I mean, I so personally, but tell our viewers, our listeners, how do you deal with it?
So I try not to read all the comments because I don't think it's my job. I don't think it's healthy to feel like you have to read everything that people say about you, right? Because I just don't need to, I don't need to know. So I just like scroll through and I read some of them. And if I feel like they're being just like really unnecessarily like rude and stuff, then I'll just block them. If they're calling me like 5 different names in one sentence, I'll just block them because, come on, just be reasonable. If they're just saying, oh, do you know what, I don't really like this song, well, okay, it's not for you then, I don't mind, it's for the people who like it, do you know what I mean? And yeah, in terms of the people that make whole videos like complaining about me, I just don't really want to spend my time watching them because I just have more fun things to do in my life, do you know what I mean? So I just don't really watch them. But I think at this point, because it's not just music that gets criticism, like anything you do as a creator will get some criticism. So I'm kind of accustomed to criticism because I've been doing TikTok for like 2.5 years. Like even when I was reviewing doubles in Trinidad, I was being told, oh, who are you to review our doubles? You like, who do you think you are? Like, get out of our country, we don't want you touching our food, whatever. Like, you know, people will say stuff about anything. So when you've already been told all of it, you kind of feel like, well, actually, I have this superpower where, because I've already heard it all, I now don't mind what you say, which means I now feel like I truly can do whatever I want because nothing you say can hurt me anymore. So it's actually like kind of empowering, which kind of makes no sense. But like, does it make sense?
It makes some sense because I'm thinking, where did you get all this positivity and bubbly personality? Did you just wake up at it one day, you know, just brushing off what people had to say? Or was it a process that you had to build to be a bit more thick-skinned?
To be honest, like I didn't have the best time in school, so I've never really been like popular. In fact, I was one of the least popular people in school because I wasn't good at sports, I didn't have the cool clothes, whatever. And so I'm kind of accustomed to like having to just not care what people think anyway, because otherwise I learned from a very young age that if I cared too much what people think, like life would just be a bit worse. So I think it's from quite young that I didn't really care. And I also, I don't really like to speak about it too much, but I'm actually autistic. So that means that like autistic people, we tend to think very logically and not with so much emotion. So to me, the logic is like, well, okay, you random person called Jack think I'm ugly and I always look tired and my songs are rubbish. Well, why would that matter? Because I don't fancy you, I don't want to date you, so why would I care? Like autistic, we have like a super logical way of thinking. I think that actually, I think my autism like actually helps me with, I've never actually, it's weird to speak about, but yeah, I actually, now I'm analysing that, I think it actually helps me deal with. Yeah.
Of course, and therefore, in terms of the misconceptions, you just decided just brush it off.
Well, yeah, because I'm like, if this lady over here, you know, thinks that I'm sleeping with 10 men in a week, okay.
Good for you.
Do you know what I mean? Jolly good. Like, I don't know. Why would I care? Like,
good for you. Good for you.
Yeah.
But Zoe, tell me something. Seeing that you have all of this, and I'm seeing it as self-confidence. A lot of persons are seeing it as self-confidence.
Yeah.
Can we expect more from you in terms of a solo album, solo music? Because I mean, you're taking it there. People are looking at your videos. People want more of Zoe.
Some people want less. A lot of people want Zoe to never step foot in the studio.
And obviously,
like, make it stop. I'm like, just block me. But yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. It just depends. There are some people that I honestly would like to collab with because I think it would be funny. Like, I would love to collab with Temple, for example. I think that would be funny. When I say funny, like good and funny, because I think my music's quite funny. Obviously, I would love to collab with Young Brother. Can you imagine? Dream come true. But yeah, so obviously, if I ever get the chance to do things like that, I guess I'll take it. Singing by myself. I did one song by myself. I'm not sure if you've seen it.
I probably didn't see it.
But yeah, it's on my Spotify and my YouTube. It was fun, but I like when your energy bounces off each other in the collabs, and I think I kind of feed off like the interactions that happen in the collabs. Right. So I think I'd probably more do collabs than like solo stuff. And I can't sing. Like, I will be the first. People think they're insulting me by saying I can't sing. I know I can't sing. That's why I just do more like spoken word-ish stuff.
Right, and it works.
Yeah, but I'm not the only one. I mean, lots of people, like lots of musicians, think about rap. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
don't
rappers
really
do it.
sing. So, I mean, what is there to lose? Apart from some people apparently think I'm being embarrassing and shameless, but to me, if I'm not embarrassed, then it's not embarrassing, right? Like.
Exactly. So you've been here, what, 10 times?
Yeah.
Do you plan on making it a habit? Do you plan on coming back again?
Yeah.
Do you plan on making TNT, you know, a yearly stop, a bi-yearly stop?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, I feel like I half live here at this point. Because especially in the last 2.5 years, like since I quit my jobs, I've been here like, it's almost like I'm here, then I go away, come back here, go, you know, it's almost like I've half been based from here, yeah. So I would really love to find a way, because obviously I can only come for 3 months because of like the tourist stamp, but I would love a way to, I know I could just marry someone, but I don't want to do that. No man, no stress. So I would love if there was a way that I could at some point, like, you know, actually kind of get some other status like here.
Right.
Because
so you want to be an honorary Trini?
Yeah. Obviously I want to still be English as well.
Yeah.
But,
a Trini English?
Yeah, like
so can I say Zoe wants to be a Trini?
No, because then they'll take it the wrong way and they'll be like, she hates who she really is and all this. Because sometimes I get comments like that, like, you know, she doesn't want to be English. She's trying to deny the fact that she's English. I'm like, I literally have the most British accent ever, and I'm perfectly fine being English. But yeah, no, I would just love to like be able to spend more time here throughout my life, and I've got like some really great friendships here, and there's some stuff that I want to like do more here. So for example, I started learning to walk on stilts, and I want to like learn to properly walk on stilts, you know, and that's not going to happen in the UK, is it? You know, there's just stuff like that I want to join in with here. I played the steel pan like once, but I want to like play more pan. You know, I just find these things fun and really cool, and I love my friends here, and I don't know, I just like, it just feels like really like a second home. So
right. And speaking of Trini and Trinidad, you know, a lot has been happening recently in terms of our unfortunately crime situation. Murders are taking place. How has that been impacting you? Do you see it as something that, you know, I know you want to stay here and it's not going to steer you away, but what do you think for other persons who would want to come to Trinidad and seeing all of this happening?
I always find it a hard question when people ask me, because sometimes people come on the TikTok live, they say, hey, I want to come to Trinidad, but what do you say about the crime? And I just feel like I'm not qualified to answer it, because like, it's really complex. I think it depends the area that you live, who you hang out with, if you have good luck or bad luck, even sometimes, if you like to go out at night or only in the day. Like, it depends on so many things. I think like you can do things to make it less likely for you to witness or be a victim of something, but of course it's never guaranteed. This is a hard question. I think you can come to Trinidad and probably have a safe trip if you maybe just make some good decisions based on maybe asking people who are from there or live there, who have been there. Like, you know, maybe just don't go out wandering at night by yourself and stuff.
Right.
I don't know, it's a hard question, sorry, I feel like that was a rubbish answer.
No, it's okay. Okay, so Trinidad is bacchanal. Obviously you know that. Obviously you know that.
Apparently I'm not allowed to say that. I've heard people calling it like the land of bacchanal or whatever.
It's, you know, something is always happening, you know, and one of the more recent ones would be the entire discussion. People are saying, you know, the authorities are straying away from the real topics and the serious topics, and they're talking about the steel pan and they're talking about the coat of arms. Do you think, as a foreigner who wants to be an honorary Trini, do you think that should be the topic of focus? Do you think, you know, focus should be placed somewhere else? I promise, this is the hardest of the hard.
Oh my gosh, I do not envy the job of whoever has to run a country. I don't know how I would, you know, what the hell is the answer to like running a country? I mean, I'm like kind of like a raging socialist, so I know what way I would go, but in terms of your question,
Meaning,
and you can do more than one thing at once, right? Like, you can change the coat of arms and you can still, there must be time to do everything, there must be enough people working there. I think everything's important, like they can't put all their focus on one thing, but it's just personally, like, I don't want to get in trouble. Like, personally, I guess I view the solutions to crime, not in Trinidad, but like globally, in maybe a slightly controversial way. So I'm a person who would like vote for like the abolition of the police force and stuff. So it's like a whole rabbit hole we'd have to go down. So
obviously. I mean, no man, no stress. No man, no stress, literally. But tell us, before we wrap up, Zoe, no man, no stress. Do you have a boyfriend?
No.
Do you have a significant other? So it's really no man, no stress.
Yes, because I don't have time, because seriously, I'm always just rushing around trying to get this content, edit this content, eat this food, like do my laundry. I'm just rushing around. I just don't really have time, because I really want to build my platform, and like people might think TikTok's not work or content creation's not work or whatever, but like, I don't know, I'm really committed to it, and it really takes up a lot of brain capacity and like physical energy, rushing around doing all these things, so I don't really have time to prioritize like a boyfriend. A
relationship.
Yeah.
So it's, okay, do you think eventually that you would give a man a chance?
Yeah.
Would he get, you know, into the relationship?
I mean, honestly, I don't know who on earth would want to date me when, like, they pretend they do, but really, that's why the lyric says, like, do you really think you're like that? In the song, because do you really think you would like dating a girl who's going around doing, I don't know, music videos and then taking a random ride in this guy's car that she never met before, and then going to Toko to stay with a random family from Instagram, and then, you know what I mean, I don't think anybody would want to date a girl who's doing that. So I'm not really too worried about it at this point, like, but no, yeah, maybe in the future when my situation has changed, but right now I'm really focused on like trying to grab all these opportunities that you know, coming my way, and just, yeah.
So it's No Man No Stress, is that the title for your next song then?
No, the next song that should hopefully be dropping tomorrow is called Red Thongs. Because obviously, you know, we're running with the music video theme.
Yes, of course.
And then there's another one. I did a collab with, I don't know if I can tell you who it is, a lady artist in Trinidad the other day, so we should be dropping that at some point soon.
So we have more to look forward to.
Or to hide from, yeah.
Thank you so very much, Zoe, for your time, for the insights, and of course for your love for Trinidad. I know sometimes we Trinis and Trinidad on the whole could be a lot, but thank you.
Thank you
so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And we hope to see more of you.
Thank you. Bye guys.
Okay, bye.